So, that said, this is going to be, I guess, the third video here, and so just a couple things to note. Firstly, you may notice there's no game audio, or maybe you won't notice, I don't know. Maybe you're not that observant of things like that, but there's no game audio, and that is because when I was playing, my Bluetooth headphones that I was using, they died. And I switched over to my other ones well enough, and then I could hear the game audio, so I assumed that it would then still be recorded, but it wasn't. So I had audio for like the first bit of the recording for the overall session, but not for this part, sadly enough. Also, I'm doing narration for this after the fact, because I did do narration while I played, but just the audio quality wasn't what I would have liked it to be, so I'm just redoing it, because I'd rather put in the extra work and get something a little bit better. I mean, obviously, like, you know, the narration is better live in my opinion, but you know, it's better to have, you know, at least something that's a lot more that has a lot more audio quality to it. So I am redoing it for that reason. But yeah, I get some seeds planted, which is good because those will grow to make plants. If you weren't sure how seeds work, that's how they work. So a farmhand maintains a farm, so basically you have to give them enough food. So the mushroom gives him 1%. So you need to get him to 100. So a mushroom is only 1%, so that's not very good. But I mean, if you had 100 mushrooms, you'd be set. Although there might be a limit on how many of the same food you can give them. I don't know, maybe. But just giving them some mushrooms there. Mushrooms are a great way to make people like you more. But yeah, it's kind of a weird mechanic how that, like, it's a good mechanic from an in-game standpoint, but just from a general standpoint, it's kind of weird. Like, okay, feed this guy until he's so uber happy with all the food you've given him that he wants to work on your farm. It's like, okay, sure, whatever. If that's the course you think is best, and that's what I will do. Oh yeah, and here is it's a good spot for a suspension bridge, but we need wood and vines. So wood is like not an issue. Wood, non-issue. You know, just cut down a tree, replant it with a seed, not a big deal. You have some wood. You know, even grow some on the farm, which I guess if you're growing trees is an orchid. So I guess it's the orchid part of the farm, but not a huge deal. It's just wood. You can find it anywhere. Vines are hard to find, and I think I spent there's probably about 10 minutes of this footage left, and I think I spent most of it looking for vines, because it's hard to find vines. You know, I mean, it's probably easier to find vines just by accident, like just by walking around and like walking into it without meaning to, but you know, like just to say to yourself, okay, I'm going to set out and I'm going to get some vines, it's a lot harder. And it's also like kind of aggravating when you have, like, you know, you only need one vine. It's like, no, why? Anyway, so well done. I hope you're feeling a bit more settled now. Come in and have a sleep, and tomorrow you should explore more. Maybe you'll even find word of your mission shipmates. I don't know why it falls on us. I don't know why it's our responsibility. The captain's here. Anyway, so Aerie says, we meet again. Sprite Seer. The celestial compass can guide you to the origin of the Murk, and perhaps your origin as well. It's kind of weird how we're looking for our origin, but there's no context to like why the character cares, which is kind of neat. Like, it kind of the sense of mystery. You just have to keep playing to find out about that. But anyways, it's one more quest completed in the grasslands. 8 more to go. And so he's looking for ghost fish. If you bring them to me, he will reward us, and that is Benedict Planted Trap. So I accepted the delivery. I have no idea if I'm actually going to follow through on it, but hopefully it's not like TTYD, wherein if you accepted a trouble and then later decided to cancel, you were actually had to pay a fine of coins, which is fair, to be honest, but you know, annoying as well. So you can hire anyone to be your farmhand. It doesn't just have to be the guy who's already sort of like ad hocing as your farmhand. Anyways, he's just giving you some trade information, like, you know, if you wanted to know where you can sell things at a higher value or buy at a lower value. A lot of the NPCs will tell you about what the traders are sort of desperate for, or else what they're desperate to offload, which is kind of a neat and useful little mechanic. It kind of like when they're all saying stuff like that, it kind of doesn't give them a lot of personality because they're all kind of telling you the same thing. But at the end of the day, it's a really cool thing. Anyway, so what quest are we going to select? The Woodland Bridge. That makes sense. So I have, looks like 5 vines out of 8. So like 3 doesn't seem like a lot, but when you consider how terrible it is getting vines, it does sort of become a little bit annoying. So we can give him an item, and he wants grass fodder, or fodder, or whatever, which is good, because that is what we happen to have. So basically, we just want to get him back to the farm. I don't know why I didn't set a one of those markers down for him. It would have been a great idea, but anyways, just running back there, trying to find the route to not get lost, which wouldn't have been an issue if I left a marker. I think the farm is up that path, and then sort of if you go sort of straightish, so I don't know why I didn't head that direction anyways, but yeah, I think that's the right way to go. And if I open the map, it looks like I am just about right. So I think that's where I'm headed now, which is good because, yeah, it's also raining. All of a sudden it starts raining, which is like it doesn't do anything in the game. As far as I know, I mean, I would assume that it would be good for your crops, the rain, but I have no idea how that all works. And I would also kind of hope that it would fill up your water trough for you. It would be pretty nice. But anyways, that fox got stuck, but there we go. Now he's unstuck. Anyway, it provides a nice visual effect, if nothing else. Like it looks pretty good. The rain just sort of falling like that. So here is, I think I lost the fox at this point. Yep, I lost the fox. For whatever reason, he stopped following me, and I had to give an item to that fox. So he's interested in your fodder, and so he's gonna follow us because I gave him some fodder. So heading to the farm, and luckily this one stuck with me. Like I say, no idea what happened to the other one at all, but this one gratefully stayed with me and all the way to the farm, so that's very good. What I was kind of doing was kind of trying to like see where I'm going, but also look behind me to see the fox. And I don't think there's any button you can press like a look over your shoulder button type thing, or a look behind you button. It's probably the worst tension to try to bring him through, but it works. Because do you want to adopt the grass fox? Yes. I didn't go through all of that not to do that. So there he is. We can care for him. We press X. So caring for him, we like tell him jokes and stuff, and then hearts come out of his face. And we can do the same thing for the Groffle, I think. So we care for him, hearts come out of him, we're telling him jokes. What does Soda call his father? Pops. Might be a bit of a reference as well, maybe, possibly, who knows. So we really cared for him, but now we're done caring for him. So this is just storage. We can just store stuff in there because you do have limited inventory space. This I thought was kind of interesting. There's like a little compass on the ground. It doesn't do anything as far as I'm aware, but it kind of looks like, what in most games would do something. Like there could be like a little secret associated with it. But yeah, none of the food and water got used up, so that's pretty good. That shows you what is in the flower bed. and that is poop that you have to pick up and clean, because it's you don't want to leave that lying around, which is a better job for someone who isn't me, and that is for someone who is my character and not me. I'm glad I don't have to do that in real. I guess it wouldn't be that bad. I guess when it dries and hardens. But if it was poop that looked like that, like the big swirly soft, no. Tell you right now, and it's not easy to pick up stuff like that anyways. Like, somebody dropped where I work at Walmart a box of Cheese Whiz, and they kind of just left it there. So that's the milk we got. That's good. So we're gonna feed that to Bushel, I assume, to make him a farmhand, hopefully. So that brings it up to 12. So that means that Gruffle milk gives Bushel 11%. But anyways, picking it up, trying to clean that up is not fun. And it doesn't help that there's glass everywhere, but that was not fun at all. And I can imagine if that Cheese Whiz was poop, that would have been even less fun, and I don't know if I would have done it. I might have just stuck a security cone, or not a security cone, a safety cone literally right on top of it, and made someone else do it, who wasn't me. Because, that's, it doesn't, that said, like, from what I've heard, people have had to pick crap off the floors, like literal poop off the floors in the past. So, it's one of those things. It's one of the hazards, I guess, working at Walmart. It's one of those things. I mean, I don't know how it happens, but it happens. It's a little fox again, but we already have a fox. So to be fair, the Murk, you need to use the sprites you found, but we don't have enough, and that's sad. So basically, we just need to get another sprite, some more sprites and stuff. I realize she puts the lamp in the umbrella when she floats down, which is kind of a nice touch. Also a stone there I could have picked up, which I didn't, which was dumb. But I might get called in for work today, which would be kind of good because I need to get the money, but I might not. So we'll see. I'm waiting to see if they'll call me. At this point, it's a little bit less likely, but they could still call. Like, there's still probably another hour before I'd say they don't call. But mainly, I need new shoes. To be honest, that's the main thing. But beyond that, any extra shifts I pick up, I'm probably going to put the money towards building a new computer, and that way, that'd be pretty cool to have. Because I mean, the computer I have is very good, and I built it, and it's very good, but it'd be kind of cool to have something that was a little bit more updated, and, especially as a lot of new stuff is coming out and what have you. But this is a trading thing, so basically you have to make an offer and I guess make an offer on their behalf. So all the items that you offer, they're given like an overall value, and then the value has to be, or like the value of your stuff has to be the same or more of the value of their stuff. If you're even like one currency below, I'm going to say 1 unit below, it will not count. They will say no deal. They will not actually accept it. So, I mean, but they have, no problems. I'm sure like if you, did an offer where like you were going to offer them like 500 units worth of stuff for like 5 units of stuff, I'm sure they'd have no problem with that, but mainly I was just going through this and I wanted to buy some stuff, but I ended up not, just because I couldn't get my value close enough to their value to want to do it. So, and there's something I immediately need that like I can't wait to get later. See, like that would be like 180 difference. That's a lot of difference, and I don't want to pay 180 premium on just to get some seeds and stuff. So I also was thinking about buying like a pickaxe and a fishing pole, but I figured you might get those as part of a quest. And the fishing pole, I was right. The fishing pole I really thought you would get, and I was right. The pickaxe, maybe you get. I'm holding out to see if I can get it for free, but I don't know if you actually do. I also don't know if tools have durability in this, like certain of the tools in Animal Crossing, namely the axe. It doesn't seem like they do, like as in there's no indicator to say that you do, but or that they do, I should say. But I don't know. Maybe there is, and maybe that's why you might buy multiple tools, is in case one breaks. I was also kind of curious because you can sell your tattered clothing, which is like the only clothing set you have, and I was kind of curious, like, why can you sell those? Those are the clothes off your back. Like, shouldn't the game prevent you from selling them? But anyways, if you do sell them, you just get I think basic clothes. Instead, basically, it just switches out your clothing for another kind, and which isn't half bad because, to my knowledge, clothes don't do anything in this game. Like, they're more just aesthetic. There's no actual well, these clothes will keep you warmer in cold water. There's nothing like that in it, so you don't really have to worry about what your character is wearing. I guess so long as they're wearing something for decency's sake, but it's not like you can just disrobe in this game anyway. It's not one of those kinds of games, so it doesn't really matter. But see, this here, I mean, to try to get up to enough value to buy those 2 plots would have been some doing. So I just left it alone. But yeah, because like I said, it's nothing I immediately need from them anyway. I don't know if I want there to be a currency system in this game. I honestly don't know. I mean, it would be more convenient, to be sure. I don't know if it's a good idea. It'd almost be an idea to have maybe I don't know, unit brokers, who you could sell and buy from, so that you can't sell and buy from everyone, but you can do from certain specific NPCs, and maybe based on what everything is trading at, they'll change the price based on that. I don't know. Anyways, even though there's a big exclamation mark over her head, she didn't have anything for me, which I kind of think, if they're going to put the exclamation mark on top of her head, they should only do that when she actually has something. But anyways, there's some more Murk cleared. So the chest, we got gal seed, not bad, and Sinosa seed, I guess, which I kind of wasted those seeds anyways, but that's okay. I'm not too upset about that. And there is another vein of gems or some sort of precious stone, which would be a good sort of reason to get a pickaxe. But since you can't just sell them and just put the money in your wallet, there's maybe no point. Actually, something that would be kind of a good idea as a sort of effective way to limit, because the problem in games when you can sell stuff is you just go around and pick everything up and just grind out a huge wallet of money, and then you just have for example 1 million units you're just carrying around, and just you get uber rich, and then you don't have to worry about the cost of anything anymore. It'd be kind of an interesting idea to have it where if you want to have money, you actually have to hold it. And this is Gold Lake, by the way, that I discovered, and that's Theodore. And he's been away from the open seas too long, and he wants knucklefish. So they live in salt water. And he gives me a fishing pole. So see, I was right? Like as I said, I wanted to see if someone could give me a fishing pole for free. He did. I don't know if I'm going to get a pickaxe for free at any point, but anyways, they're saying, oh yeah, if you wanted coins, you'd have to carry them in your inventory. That'd actually take up a fair amount of inventory slots, so that you couldn't just do that and have $1 million in your pocket. Actually, that'd be a decent mod for Skyrim. I don't know if there's a mod like that, but a mod that actually gives coins actual weight, an actual presence, so that if you're carrying them, it's kind of a hassle. I know there's a mod that introduces taxes. I was going to say gives taxes, but that's not really something you give. But anyways, I know there's a mod that introduces taxes, which is kind of, an interesting thing, because, that allows you, as you make more money, it kind of gets limited by the fact that you have to continue paying money, so that you only get to keep part of what you make, which is kind of an interesting way to do it. But certainly there should be property tax and stuff in the game, like for the buildings you own, for the houses you own. You should have to pay sort of a fee on them. I'd reckon, like, there's, shouldn't just be able to have the land for free. That said, like, maybe, immersively there wasn't any property tax, at that point in Skyrim's history. So maybe it's unimmersive, but just from a gameplay standpoint, it's kind of good. It's kind of a good thing. I should have found some salt water, because I assume that's all fresh water, but I should have found some salt water for the to get a knuckle fish, but that's okay. A couple fish is good, and they are also something that can be fed to Bushel, so that he will maybe have another think about becoming the farmhand, because you'll see how good he'll get fed if he's a farmhand. But the joke's on him, because once he's a farmhand, he ain't going to get fed no more. He's going to have to fend for himself. This is only while we're trying to woo him. We're going to give him some food, but after that, it's done. But anyways, so looks like I have enough vines to make the suspension bridge. We just got to cut down a tree. Just one little old tree. How bad can that be? So we take out the trusty axe. I think this is a Murk we tried to clear before, so we can't actually clear that. But we can chop down a tree if we just sort of pick one to chop. I don't know why those ones weren't good enough, but I'm not sure if I realized that the seeds I got were tree seeds at this point, or if I reckoned they might be just regular seeds. But because if I knew that they were tree seeds, I could have just cut down any of those trees and just immediately replanted it. But I don't know. But anyways, we're back at the farm. 53% rating, not bad. Could talk to him. Give him some dip fish. So I think before we were at, 12. So that would have brought it up 2%. Then it was, or something, I don't know. Anyways, care for the fox. Why not? I don't know how the care mechanic works. If you just press it and it does that, like if you have to do it like once per day, or how that, like, you know what I mean? Like if there's a certain frequency you have to do it at, or just by keep doing it, and then they keep getting happier until they reach their maximum happiness, and then it doesn't do anything anymore. And there's like an unlimited amount of times, like, so that if they're at 1% happiness, you can keep doing that. You can just keep mashing X until they're at 100%, and then it's just not going to do anything anymore. So that's where I would have realized that they were tree seeds, because when you can't plant them in the regular planter, that's a pretty good indication. I did cut out part of the video at the end, so there was probably 5-10 minutes that I cut out. I hope I didn't cut out the part with the suspension bridge, because if I did, that was an accident. But I might have, because there's only 2 minutes left. But it looks like I didn't. It looks like it would have been right here when I made the suspension bridge. So I am worrying over nothing. So 97 trees planted, 44 more to go, because we just cut one down, but we just replanted it, so we're back up to 98. Pick up a vine. Now we have more than enough to grow another tree, because trees are good. But anyways, I kind of wasted those seeds, because since they were special seeds, I should have planted them in the orchid I have at the farm, and just planted the regular indigenous trees instead. That would have been a good idea. But suspension bridge, so now you don't have to go all the way around. You can sort of go this way, which is really good. And it is a quest done. So there's only 7 more quests left after that. So that's good. If nothing else, is an easy way to knock off a quest. I'm going to quickly drink some more water. So, feed him some mushrooms, which only get us to 1% anyways, but just keep popping those mushrooms down his throat. Only 1 more can we give him? So now he's at 26 and we're out of mushrooms. So, I don't know why I thought I had more mushrooms to give him, but yeah, that's out of mushrooms. But we do have, I think, some groffle milk and some clay, if I remember correctly. No idea how I got the clay, to be honest, but either way, I can give him the groffle milk. But this video is coming to a close, so if you watched any of the 3 videos I'm trying to get uploaded, then thanks for doing so. And if you liked any of them, then leave a like and have a great rest of your day.